Hey everyone, today we're going to have a quick video. I presume it's more than a 1 minute short, so I've got it in video format. It's about creatine. Now, creatine is naturally within the body, and so it doesn't mean if you're only a bodybuilder or strength training that you should take creatine. A lot of people take it anyway because it's really essential, but there's so many different forms of creatine. So which one is actually more beneficial to us? Is it the more costly one or is it not? So this video is really going to be guidance for you. And I don't want to say I advise you taking a supplement of creatine, because depending on my clients, I would advise how much, etc. But it is an essential supplement. Now, cost-wise, what I'm going to go through is going to show you that you don't need the most expensive form, or let's dive in. So I dived into the first point is stop wasting your money on different forms of creatine. What I've noticed as I've studied mechanics, body anatomy, supplements, my own journey, what's worked for me, what's worked for clients, is that the new forms that come out sometimes are good and sometimes I just stick to the same thing, but we know things advance, whether it's science, technology, etc. In this case, it's to do with science, so things do advance. But a lot of sometimes the new forms of stuff are just added ingredients either to stimulate more. So it might say creatine, aiding your strength, aiding your recovery, aiding you to push further, but also fat burning. And it will be an additional ingredient, for example, or a different form of creatine. I'm going to dive into one in particularly. So stop wasting your money on that. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one to buy. And it does need to be a trusted brand, something that's clean. We know what's going into it. So creatine monohydrate is the most tested, effective and safe form of creatine available. It saturates the muscle cells 100% with phosphate creatine. So why do people try to sell us other versions? Now, if you've studied the body anatomy, and if you haven't, that's why I'm here. Creatine, phosphate creatine is actually one of the it's within our body, but it's also one of the energy systems that kicks into play out of like anaerobic, aerobic systems. I'll go into that in another video. So why do people try to sell different versions? It's basically because the profit margins of creatine monohydrate are slim, because virtually everyone sells it. So these companies try to reinvent the wheel so they can justify charging you more for the different special forms of creatine, like creatine ethyl ester, buffered creatine, and creatine hydrochloride. I'm sure you've heard of creatine hydrochloride. Now, creatine ethyl ester has actually been shown to be less effective than creatine monohydrate. Those of you that are in bodybuilding, strength training, or those of you that take creatine regular, this is important for you. Buffered creatine is shown to be no more effective than creatine monohydrate, despite costing up to 2 to 3 times more than creatine monohydrate. Now, creatine hydrochloride has one study suggesting is more soluble and had better uptake of kinetics, but has not been reproduced, and frankly, I'm skeptical. Now, regardless, the only benefit to hydrochloride would be you'd be able to use slightly less creatine, but it would still cost you more per serving. But it might be useful for people with sensitive GIs. So it's worth a try if you have the financial aid, if your GI seems to get reactive on creatine monohydrate. For the best for the most part of these companies are simply using other forms of creatine to justify charging you more. And like I said, they might say it stimulates you to go more further, and they use creatine as the main, they might say creatine. I'm not surprised if another form of creatine comes out and it'll be a mix with another ingredient that says this is going to make you push like Superman, Superwoman, but at the same time you are going to burn fat while gaining muscle, while this, and it's going to be another added ingredient mixed with creatine, etc. Now, I think I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave it a very short video, straight to the point. And I would say look out for next week, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, depending where you are in the world, my next video content that I plan on uploading is going to be about recovery of your training. The best methods of training recovery. It's really important. And also, if you think that training recovery requires cost, like additional stuff, you're going to find this helpful, and you're going to find it motivating and encouraging, because you don't need all those costly stuff. There are things that are essential, and I don't want to dive into giving the whole video away that I plan on doing in terms of the content, but tune into that. And also I plan on going through 20, I'd say it's probably around 15 to 20, 22 fat loss tips that aid you to lose fat. Now, there's a difference between weight loss and fat loss. And the first question that I start off with, are you ready for a fat loss journey? So I'm sure everyone, whether you are trying to lose fat, reduce your fat mass, or whether you're trying to be in maintenance and not increase fat mass, this is going to be applicable for you. And as always, I make sure that it's well-rounded. There's science. It's for advanced people, possibly someone wanting to compete, but in a balanced way. And also those that are trying to start their fitness journey or have a fat loss goal. So tune into that as well. There's another one that's coming up as well. Today I decided to note it, that if you're wishing to compete for the very first time, professional competing, I'm going to go through some elements for you to see if you're ready, what you need, etc., etc. So look out for those videos. As a whole, there's always a short or a video out daily. Most of the time, there's both out daily. I would subscribe to the channel so you get the content. There's some stuff coming up, mindset stuff coming up. I cover general health, so supplements, medications, mindset and mental health, emotional well-being, balancing your life so it aids you, whether it's your fitness journey, whether it's your journey across life, fitness, advanced, losing weight, sustaining muscle, effective training, etc., etc., depending where you are, even if you're a PT or coach, even if you're in your late teens or you are in your 60s. And if you're in your 60s, I want to know, because I'm trying to break down the barrier of people thinking that you should only weight lift or be on a fitness journey if you're in your 20s and 30s, or have protein in your 20s and 30s because you're only doing it to support muscle growth. I'm breaking down that barrier, and I'd love to hear from you. I've got clients across that wide range as well. If you want to work with me, everything's always in the description box, and I'll see you in our next video. I hope you tune into the live premieres that are coming up every day, more or less. Take care of yourselves and have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Bye for now.